Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyra, and here on my channel we are all about real makeup for real life and real people. If you are new here, a special welcome to you. I hope you will consider subscribing before you leave. If you like what you see today, it'll help you find my videos more easily on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday when I upload. Today is a Shop My Stash Get Ready With Me, and I cannot wait to play with these products and just create this look for you guys. Spoiler alert. It was a little bit of a struggle, so stay tuned. I decided to feature the ABH Norvina palette in this video versus my Sydney Grace singles that I also shot my stash for, because I'm going to do a separate video with the Sydney Grace singles. But I do frequently get a lot of questions on how to use this purpley periwinkle blue shade called Soul in this palette. And especially where my channel is all about helping you guys with everyday makeup for everyday people, basically. I just thought I would show you today how I like to use this shade and some tips and tricks in using this shade in this palette. So with all of that said, we know I'm a talker, so we better get into it. All right, here we are. Let's get started. I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow primer today for a couple of reasons. One, I am just trying to finish off this little sample guy, as well as I think this is going to pair nicely with the foundation I'm gonna use, which is the new NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I read about this foundation on Sephora. I have the shade Fiji, by the way. I think I said Fuji before in my shop. Whoa. Okay, that's probably gonna be enough for the whole face. I read about this foundation online on the Sephora app, and it actually does say to use your fingers with this. So that's how we're gonna do. I got way too much. So we're gonna do a little bit at a time. I've watched quite a few people use this foundation, maybe not like any kind of comprehensive review. It's been kind of a polarizing release, I feel like, because people either really like this one or really hate it. And I personally have just been wanting to try a NARS foundation, so let's see. The shade's not terrible, maybe a little yellow for me. I am gonna try and go over it with my damp sponge and just see how she do. If I can make it a little bit more skin-like. Yeah, it's quite yellow, my bad. A little limited on the shades when you order something like this as a promotion, so. But I just want to see if I can make it a little more skin-like with the sponge, maybe pick up excess if need be. Yeah, definitely picked a little excess up on the sponge, so that's not too bad. I do, however, want to rethink my powder pick. The one I have in my Shop My Stash is the Ulta Beauty Mineral Setting Powder, and I do like this powder, but not with a more full coverage foundation. So I'm gonna pull another one out of my Shop My Stash, the pressed version of the No. 7 Perfect Light powder. And this is nice and lightweight and translucent and all that jazz, so I think that's a better option for us. I don't know why I'm powdering though, because I forgot to put concealer on. Oh well. We don't have the powder up near the under eye, so we'll just go like this. All right, dummy. Concealer, I'm just going to take the tiniest dot of this Flower Beauty concealer. This stuff, when it says full coverage, it is definitely full coverage. And I've learned that the trick with this is the tiniest amount, like the tiniest amount. And you know, you can always add more if you need to, but you can't take it back. So do I think this will ever be my favorite concealer? Definitely not, but it works fine. For bronzer slash contour, I'm gonna use this Beauty Junkies contour palette. I've used this a little bit, but not a ton, and I wanna get to know this better, which is why it's in my Shop My Stash this month. And I think the shade I'm gonna go in with today is this first one, which is Fawn, I believe. And just warm up the complexion a little bit. Not too much. It's snowing outside, so I don't want to look, you know, crazy or anything. And these other shades, I think one's more like a sort of a neutral to red bronzer, and then this one's more of a contour shade. But this is the one that I have used the most in terms of like bronzing and things like that. Oh, that's a nice shadow. And then all of the rest of these on top are matte, except for this shade right here, which is sand. I thought that's what it was. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna use that highlight today, but I have used it before, and it's very beautiful. Like soft, subtle, just sheen to the skin. All right. So there we go. I think that looks nice. I have not had any issues with this. I do want to continue trying out some of the other shades, but I like that bronzer. All right. And then I did go ahead and pick up 2 of their blush and highlight duos, and I have them in this little magnetic palette here. You have Twilight Dream Duo, this pink one, and then you have Peach Glow. Is that what it is? The Peach Glow Duo? Peach Petal Duo, my bad. And I honestly don't know, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with my eyes, which one I should go with, but I think I'm gonna go a little more neutral and use the peach one. I'm gonna start with highlighter, however. I'm gonna go into this more yellowy looking highlighter. Lately I've been liking to do my highlighter though before my blush. I just like the way it looks when the blush is the topping to the bronzer and highlight. Just trying to build this up a little bit. I'm not gonna judge one way or the other whether these products enhance any texture today, just because it could be the foundation. You go into the blush now. I can always go back in with the pink blush rather, if you know the eye look goes a certain way. Kind of have an idea in mind of how I want to do it, the eye look that is, but you never know where this get ready with me road will take me. I do feel like I want to set the under eye a little bit, and one of the products from my 21 pans in 2021 is this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Diffused Light, and I really like this as an under eye setting powder. I don't always set my under eyes, but it depends on what the concealer feels like after it's been sitting there for a few minutes. And since we've done bronzer, blush, and highlight, and it's still a bit tacky, I feel like I want to go ahead and set it. I know how some of you will be very happy to see this palette turn up in this video and in my Shop My Stash for the month. And I do get a ton of questions or requests to use this shade called Soul in a look. It's kind of a dusty periwinkle blue type shade. And so we are going to use that in a look today. When it comes to shades like this that may or may not blend as easily, I like to pack it on first and then go into blend, and that seems to work better than trying to put layers and layers of this type of shade on and have it not be patchy. So you can see here I have it placed in my crease, and now I'm just kind of going in to blend the edges and, you know, further define the shape of the eye. And then once I've gone that far, I'm gonna go in with a little bit fluffier, bigger brush with a tiny bit, and I'm just gonna blend into the crease. And as I buff this into the crease, it will just kind of naturally migrate up a little bit into the transition area. But because we had that nice strong base where we packed this shade on, it shouldn't go patchy. All right, now to sort of bring this back around to the realm of comfortability and neutrality, I'm gonna go into this beautiful brown right here called Volatile. And I'm not one that typically calls browns beautiful, but this one is really beautiful. And I'm gonna take this on the outer V closest to the upper lash line to start. And I'm just picking the shadow up on the tip of this little flat shader brush from Real Techniques. And you can even stamp this on depending on how much blue you have on your lid. I like to put whatever my crease shade is on the lid as well, and that way it makes it a little easier for me to blend my deepening shade into that crease shade. So once I have a good amount along the upper lash line, I'm just fading that up and in toward the crease. And then I also want to take whatever's left on that little brush that we used for the brown and just kind of run that little bit on the outer half of the lower lash line, and just making sure it's connecting what's going on the lower lash line with what's going on upstairs. I think what I want to do is go in with this shade Dazzling right here all over the lid. And then I do have a Super Shock shadow that I want to try and incorporate into this look that's also in my Shop My Stash this month. And I'm just going to apply this pretty much all over the lid. Being careful, I don't want too much of this up into the crease, but if a little ends up there after blending and all that, then that'll be fine. I don't know how much I'm loving this look right now, and this happens, you know. We'll see how I feel about it after I put on the Super Shock shadow. So the Super Shock shadow that I pulled into my Shop My Stash this month is called Ladybird, and it's new to me, but oh my goodness, it is sparkly, the sparkly diamond. So I really want to use this, and I'm just gonna use my phalange to pick this up. And we'll see if we can't just save this look. Well, you know, you win some, you lose some. We don't always love every eyeshadow look that we do, and anybody that tells you that they do, maybe not being super truthful. Well, friends, that's as good as it's going to get. I do, however, love this shade right here called Base as an inner corner highlight. So we're gonna do that. I'm thinking about possibly pulling this in to my project pan at some point this year, and maybe under the brow. Why not? Oh shoot, I forgot to do my brows. Good grief. I'm gonna pop off of here real quick, do brows, a little liner possibly, and mascara, and then I'll be right back with a lip choice. Okay, we are back. I'm actually kind of happy with my hair today. I did a little trimming myself since I don't care to go to a salon right now, but any hooser. I finished off my eyes with my Wet n Wild brown kohl eyeliner and also the L'Oreal Air Volume Mega Mascara. And it's time for lips. I'm gonna first line my lips with the Milani Understatement lip liner in the shade Nude Entrance. I really love that lip liner. It's kind of a lovely shade. I did go ahead and pick up one of the new Fenty Cream Gloss Bombs, and I did pick up the shade Fenty Glow, which I kind of think is an interesting name because it's not glowy, but I'm just going to apply this. I do really like this texture so far though. I do think that's really nice, and just as I suspected, I want more blush after putting lips on. And apply some just to the apples and kind of the top of the cheekbones. And I will say I'm much more happy with this look now after putting on brows and eyeliner and mascara and everything. Definitely not going to go down in history as one of my favorite looks I've ever done, but I'm not feeling like I need to not film the next video that I'm gonna film today anymore, which is kind of how I was feeling when I took a break for brows and everything. So let's try the peach on the nose. I've never tried it before, but it could look really cute. Yeah, I don't mind that. Woo! All right. So let me know down below, but be gentle. What do you think of the look that I created today using all of my, some of my Shop My Stash products for the month of January? I hope you enjoyed this get ready with me, you know, checking out a new foundation, seeing how I work with some blue eyeshadows. Of course, you do not have to go anywhere as near as deep as I did or pack on as much blue shadow as I did. I just think packing on the shadow first and then blending the edges with just a tiny bit of the same shade on a fluffier brush does tend to help when working with like blue and purple shadows, which can be harder not only to create but to work with and blend as well. I really enjoyed playing with these products today. Love the Anastasia Norvina palette, so don't blame her for today's look. It's all me. With all of that said, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I also appreciate a thumbs up when you appreciate the video that I put up for the day. That was a lot of appreciating. I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful Shop My Stash makeup days, and I will see you in my next video real soon.